Hello and welcome to another live episode of the TNT pre-show Barbed Wire, episode 5. Joined by not one, but two co-hosts today for Barbed Wire. None other than the Mad Dog himself, Mike Angus on the right-hand side of the screen there. Happy New Year to you, Mike. How you doing?
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Absolutely great to be here and obviously celebrating 10 years at TNT this year. So exciting times. And we've got two amazing shows to hype up for you that we're looking forward to on January 25th. It's going to be amazing. And I hope all our fans out there had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. And it's absolutely wonderful to see Simon back in his house for TNT. So, yeah, take it away, Jonas.
So the man that hosted Barbed Wire a long time before I got involved, commentator extraordinaire. Before I was born, that's right. He's my childhood hero, of course. Simon Hill, welcome to Barbed Wire. Welcome to the TNT pre-show. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, very well, man. It's good to be here. And that just hearing that music again, that's been a long time. So I remember filming the first ever Barbed Wires when I lived in London against my wall in my living room, shifting my sofa out the way to try and get half a decent backdrop. But yeah, Jonas, thank you so much for having me, man. Really excited. So happy to be back at TNT. And of course, you know, what's better than seeing Angus in a suit during a live stream?
You all said you were going to dress up. You said it was James Bond New Year's theme.
And I don't dress up anyway. I go everywhere in this, so this is my get-up. But let's crack on because we've got so much to talk about. And as Mike alluded to, this is Barbed Wire, the pre-show, and we're going to be focusing on these two shows here, ladies and gentlemen. January the 25th from the Fusion nightclub in Liverpool. Ignition Rumble and Merseyside Massacre. We'll be breaking it down. We'll be talking about both shows. There are the details scrolling along the bottom of the screen. Just head over to the Skiddle app or go to skiddle.com and you'll be able to get your ticket or tickets for each show or both shows. There are combo tickets available, of course, and we'll be breaking down all the action, all the matches very, very soon. And of course, TNT now, you can stream it live on Triller TV, powered by Fights, the new home of TNT. So very, very exciting. And we've got a lot to look forward to in 2025. For TNT, it's going to be an absolutely jam-packed year. And just to demonstrate that, I've got a little bit of a video that will give our viewers at home a little bit of a taste of what TNT has in store for 2025. Here we go. So much to look forward to, and here are the dates that are going to be gracing our wrestling rings in 2025. A TNT wrestling ring shows in January, March, May, July, and this is Mad
what
Dog,
are you
please,
doing,
don't
Mike?
put me off. September and November, of course, and I think 14 shows from TNT and the Extreme and the Ignition brand in 2025. So much to look forward to, and of course, their home for tickets is Skiddle.com, the Skiddle app. Download it today and get your tickets. In particular, for the two shows we're going to be talking about right now, the Ignition Rumble and Merseyside Massacre. But also some breaking news that went out on TNT socials just a few days ago, and it's going to be the new pairings, the new commentary teams for the two brands, for Ignition and for the Extreme brand. And of course, we've got Ben and Mark Adams that are going to be behind the commentary desk for the Ignition brand of TNT. And of course, our very own Simon Hill and DJ King are the new pairing for TNT Extreme Wrestling. So Simon, that is absolutely fantastic news. So congratulations on that news. And you're going to be pairing with DJ King, somebody you know very, very well for the Extreme side of TNT. And I'm sure, just like you have done over many years now, you're going to be providing the goods and delivering every single time.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's so exciting. I started my journey at TNT. I won't get into all that now, but to come full circle now and to be in arguably TNT's biggest year to date, going again, leading commentary alongside DJ, it's just phenomenal. And me and DJ have been looking for this partnership for a long time. We've called matches together, but I don't think we've ever called a full show. Now we're commentating a full calendar year of TNT Extreme live on Triller as well. I'm so thrilled, and I'm sure he is as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, TNT wouldn't be TNT without, of course, the ring announcer, the Mad Dog, Mike Mad Dog Angus. And here are a few shots of my good friend, my co-host for many years.
Why are you feeding his ego, John? I mean, no one else got extra photos.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to feed his ego. Is that you got something through the mail, didn't you, Mike? Something quite sparkly that you can show our viewers.
Oh, is that what you want to see? You knew you'd want to see them. These new shoes.
Look at these.
I think. Well, I'll just get one out for you. They're a bit snazzy. These ones.
You're going to turn up to our first show of the year wearing those.
I like wearing them in Fusion nightclub. That's the place in town to be wearing that sort of shoes. That's it. Yeah. That's the Scouse style of it.
Absolutely. And a quick shout out to our sponsors, of course, Ramaclobber and Active Souls, and they will be present. I'm sure there'll be stands at the next TNT shows on January the 25th from the Fusion nightclub, and we've had quite a few people that have reached out to us. Of course, we are live, so if you're watching us live at home on TNT's Facebook or YouTube channels, firstly, thank you so much for tuning in, and a nice little wave there from the gang. But if you are watching us live, feel free to get in touch with the show, send us your questions, send us your comments, and of course, at 10 years of TNT, so send us your memories of your favorite shows, matches, and talent that have wrestled in the TNT ring. And we've got a few people that have reached out already. Then let's see if I can find any appropriate questions to read out there. We got Louis De Silva, the crazy trainers, rolled into the chat.
The lunatic.
And of course, lovely to see you again, Simon. So thank you very much, Louis. And he's
sick of me.
On his way to the Ignition Rumble, and Mad Dog. And he loves the purple shoes. There's our Louis De Silva. There we go. And
somebody's got to Louis.
We got Joseph watching us live at home on TNT's Facebook page. Big up the Mad Dog, of course. And
Swansea in the house.
Richie watching us live at home. Madders and Johners. I say the dynamic duo. But great to see you all. And of course, Wrestle Snaps. Who I've got to learn a lot about from doing these barbed wire shows, is watching us live on YouTube. Evening, gents. Hope you both had an amazing Christmas, and he can't wait for next Saturday. And of course, that's it. Go over to the Skiddle app now, or skiddle.com. We can get your ticket or tickets for the Ignition Rumble or for the TNT Extreme Show Merseyside Massacre. And let's start talking about it, gentlemen. Enough about Mad Dog's sparkly purple shoes, of course, and let's kick things off by talking about and breaking down the Ignition Rumble, the first show of the day that's going to be taking place on January the 25th. And it's a wonderful
sharing the stream here, Jono. So I'll let Angus take first point as I'm sharing the stream on all the socials.
No worries at all. And well, Mad Dog, let's talk about this to start off with then. Kicking off the Ignition Rumble was certainly the first match we're going to be talking about is Najee versus P.L. Dotson. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Mad Dog, this was scheduled possibly for their last show and for some reason didn't quite go ahead. But these two will be going head-to-head, face-to-face at the Ignition Rumble on January the 25th. And I'm sure, based on these two's history with TNT and especially in an Ignition ring, it's going to be a hell of an encounter.
Yeah, well, I did find the gold shoes as well, by the way. But P.L. Dotson, unfortunately, didn't appear at the last show, but looking forward to seeing the Loquacious Leviathan in action back in Liverpool. And Najee, the rookie season has come to an end. It was an amazing rookie season, but now Najee is ready to shoot for the stars. And they first of all have to take on P.L. Dotson in what is going to be an absolute clash at the Ignition Rumble next Saturday. I couldn't call the winner in that one. It's going to be tough, but Najee is going to have to watch out because the Loquacious Leviathan, P.L. Dotson, has got some maneuvers. And, it's going to be a tough one for him. So we're going to need all the excitement. And as we said, rookie season is over for Najee. But what a year it was. And this is going to be a big chance for Najee to break out massively in TNT this year. What do you think, Si?
Yeah, I think, I've watched Najee at Future Shock grow from a trainee to where he is now, and there's been a learning process, but he's full of energy. He doesn't give up, and I think that's the resilience is the hardest thing for Dotson to come over here. So I think that he's got to be aware of what NAJ can offer: speed, agility, creativity, innovation. And NAJ is one of those that can hit you out with a bag from the off. So I think PL Dotson's got to be aware of what he's really coming up against. Because rookie season for me is definitely over for NAJ now. He's into his stride, I think.
Absolutely.
And he was cheated last show, Si. It was FTM, Tom McCall picked up a big win over NAJ at the last show, but I'm sure Critchy was involved in somehow with that.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. It's Critchy. I mean, that doesn't surprise anybody that's been involved in something.
Let's talk about this one here, gentlemen, because we've got a motor through for the TNT Tag Team Championships. Temple of Malum taking on Act 2. Now, Act 2 becoming a regular feature, some regular faces in a TNT ring. We've seen them a lot in 2024, but going up against Temple of Malum and looking to walk away out of the Fusion nightclub with the TNT Tag Team Championships, but they are going to be going up against a formidable duo. And dare I mention that Lana Austin may well be there as well to maybe sing a bit of karaoke, but definitely to get involved if the opportunity arises. But Mike, I know that you know these 4 individuals very well.
Yeah, very well. And we talk about Temple of Malum, and it can be the 2 of them. It can be 3 of them with Lana Austin. It can be 4 of them as well with Joe Kessler about in the building that day. So I would be very concerned if I was Act 2 running into Temple of Malum, not just because they are 2 absolute beasts of professional wrestlers, but as well if the others are about and the superstar herself causing havoc at ringside and Kessler about, there could definitely be problems for Act 2. But as we've said about Act 2 in the past, they are absolutely brilliant tag team all over the place at the moment. Simon obviously knows them well. John, as you've seen them down in your neck of the woods, and those 2 guys are going to be massive in 2025. So this could be a huge start to the year for them, and there's no better place to make it than on the first show of the year.
Yeah,
for my books, I mean, Act 2 are the best, one of the best tag teams in the UK, and I'm sure you'll agree, Simon. But that's going to be a hell of an encounter, and I think Temple of Malum had better not underestimate Act 2 and what they're capable of.
Oh, they are phenomenal. I think last year was their kind of, look, we're actually here and we're serious. I think this year is the one where you really see what Act 2 can do. They've already made a name for themselves, but I mean, what a way to start. If they come in and win those titles on the first doubleheader, first show of TNT look, Temple of Malum are a formidable force. And like you said, Lana Austin's there. She's the biggest distraction in British wrestling. So I think it's going to be a really interesting match, but what a statement it would be if Act 2 could come out on top on that one.
100%. Let's move on, guys. So let's talk about this one here. A very exciting match for the TNT Ignition Women's Championship. Lucy Sky. Now, we were checking off air, but she's been a champion since July now, Mike. And she's been, like I say, a fighting champion, but going up against one of the best up-and-coming female wrestlers on the UK scene. In fact, for my money, one of the best female wrestlers on the scene in 2024. And I think 2025 has got great things in store for Aluna, who is making her TNT Ignition debut on January the 25th, Mike.
Yeah, it'll be great to see Aluna in Liverpool. She's somebody I've been watching closely, worked their way up the ranks all over the country. Obviously, New Wave Academy done brilliantly there. And, somebody who's worked so hard to get to where they are and has been so impressive. Obviously, caught up with Aluna numerous times through the year, and great to hear how she's getting on, and brilliant to see her debut in Liverpool. But she's going to have her hands full battling against Lucy Sky, who, as we mentioned, won the title back in July, but has been the Ignition Women's Champion before that as well. So, must be getting on for a good, at least a cumulative year, I would say, as the TNT Ignition Women's Champion overall. Absolutely amazing competitor, the master of the Wigwam Bam, and things can only get better for Lucy Sky. But Aluna is going to pose a really big challenge for her. But Simon, I know you're familiar with both these athletes as well. What do you think for this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I hear how good Luna is quite often because my partner trains with her at New Wave, and I hear about how good she is and how far she's come and how that change has been overnight. I feel like Luna at the moment is Lucy Sky before she won the TNT title. So they're just waiting to pull the trigger on her, I think. So I think this is Luna's year. So I think it's a big test for Lucy Sky. Lucy Sky has just blown up. I mean, you see what she's doing all over the country now, in London as well as Liverpool, Manchester, and all over. So this is going to be, for me, when I saw the card, this was the first match I wanted to see.
Yeah, definitely a standout match. And like I say, I've seen Luna very closely over the last 3 years, and she really has progressed to be one of the best up-and-coming female wrestlers on the UK scene. And like I say, we'll soon have to kind of change that to one of the best in the UK, because now that she's making her TNT Ignition debut, she really is branching out even further across the UK. Let's have a quick chat about the participants for the Ignition Rumble then, gentlemen. I'm going to bring up their pictures. We do have some promo videos that are sent through to us as well. Liam Carr, somebody who TNT and TNT Ignition fans know very, very well, of course. Joe Kessler.
Yeah.
And, of course, a former TNT Ignition champion, Scott Oberman. And, of course, Critchy will be one of the participants. And Sheikh El Sham will be there on January the 25th. These are the 5 competitors at the moment. But before we get your opinion and your thoughts on those 5, let's have a little words from some of those competitors.
January 25th, TNT returns with the Ignition Rumble to crown the new #1 contender for the TNT Ignition title. But let's get something straight. I am no stranger to the TNT Ignition Rumble. Let me take you back 6 years ago to the first ever TNT Ignition Rumble to crown the first ever TNT Ignition champion. Liam Carr made it to the final 3, 19 years old. I had my dreams crushed. Everything I wanted, the moment that was supposed to set me up to be a mainstay on the British wrestling scene, ripped from underneath me. From that moment, I have had to scratch and claw at every opportunity I have ever been given. I had to go to the other side of the world and conquer America and Canada and win gold over there, just so I could come back here for this moment, January 25th, the TNT Ignition Rumble, and you are looking at the new #1 contender for the TNT Ignition Championship. This is personal. I'm not just here to enter a rumble and win a match. No, 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 no. I'm here to rewrite history. I'm here to fix my wrongs. I'm here to do what I should have done in 2019, and that was become the TNT Ignition Champion. So get your tickets. Be there to witness history as Liam Carr does what he says he is going to do. And that is win the TNT Ignition Rumble. Mark my words. This is very, very personal.
What's happening, TNT? I'm not going to give you all that spiel that all the others are going to give you about how much of an honour and a privilege it is to wrestle in front of you on the 25th of January at the Ignition Rumble. That's not me. Like, let's be honest here. You get the honour of witnessing me throw 19 other bagheads over the top rope and secure myself a little match between either MVK or Bullet. I told you last year, 2024, I was showing you who I was. And in 2025, I'm going to prove to you that the Ignition Championship will look great around my waist. So, where I'm going to be when I celebrate winning that Ignition Rumble is that little all you can eat Chinese for a little celebratory meal.
Wow. There we go, Liam Carr and Critchy talking a good game, talking a big game. ahead of the Ignition Rumble. Mike, any thoughts on the participants, and in particular the two that were kind enough to send in their promos to the Barbed Wire show?
Yeah, the Critch dog there, obsessed with his with getting his Chinese buffet, his banquet after the show. That's his celebration. That's what he's aiming for. So, and he's worked hard, the lad. So he deserves it. You saw him there representing Liverpool there in the St. John's Shopping Centre in Liverpool. So, yeah, it could be the year for Critch. It could be his chance in the Rumble. Amazing opportunity for that young man who has worked very hard. He's got a terrible attitude. His attitude stinks, but you know, he's worked hard, so we'll see what happens. And, of course, the finely tuned machine, the international superstar himself, Liam Carr, as he mentioned there, was in the inaugural Ignition Rumble back in the day. But Liam Carr, as he said, he's wrestled in Canada, he's wrestled in the USA, he's took on WWE legends like Tatanka, and you know, he's done brilliantly. I've been glad to see him back in action in the last year myself. Great to see how much he's progressed, and he's you know, he's a giant, the lad. He's 6'2", 6'3", and he's going to be tough to eliminate in that Rumble. Also, you've mentioned others who are going to be in it. One notable person I've worked alongside, the Sheik, Sheik El Sham. Looking forward to seeing the Sheik finally make it to an Ignition ring, and it'll be interesting to see how the Sheik gets on in the Rumble, because I know that they are one of the best heavyweight competitors in the UK, so that's going to be really interesting to see how he gets on in there as well. What about you, Si? Who's your money on in the Rumble?
I mean, for me, look, Liam Carr's a great talent, but Joe Kessler's in a league of his own. I mean, that guy's a monster. He's changed his entire physique. He's come back from career-threatening injuries and made it look like a cakewalk. I think this guy's a very dangerous individual, and I do think he's in with a big shot this time around. And he's known as well to the TNT faithful. It's not his first rodeo. He's getting up and down the country a lot more as well. So I think this is the year of Joe Kessler for sure.
Gentlemen, what are our thoughts on Scott Oberman? Of course, a former TNT Ignition champion. And like I say, making waves across the UK, doing some wonderful things in a TNT Ignition ring. And maybe he's looking for that opportunity to win the Rumble and maybe get his opportunity to get back to the top and win the gold again.
It's almost redemption for him, isn't it? You know, he went through an incredibly physical feud previous years and, you know, didn't quite work out for him. So I think this is his redemption arc. He's looking to right those wrongs. So, you know, there's going to be more danger to Scott Oberman than we've seen previously, I feel, in this Rumble. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I've seen him come through the ranks from his very early years. Absolutely amazing competitor. Should definitely not be overlooked. Has been brilliant at places like Wrestle Island and, you know, other places around the UK and abroad. Obviously tagging with Dan Evans in the past and still, you know, over in Denmark and stuff. So this is, you know, somebody who's a formidable competitor. And it's just great to see the quality and standard that we've got going into this Rumble. And that's before some of the other participants have even been announced. There's going to be surprises. There's going to be people getting thrown over the top rope. Don't forget, both feet must touch the floor, guys. And it's going to be exciting. Any families, get your kids along to this one. They're going to absolutely love this. The Rumble, one of the most entertaining shows of the year. So, yeah, get your tickets now. It's one not to miss.
Yeah, make sure you stay out of that drop zone as well, Mike. I know how close you like to get to the action.
Your shiny shoes won't last too long. But all the details are scrolling along the bottom of the screen as to where you can get your tickets for the Ignition Rumble. Just head over to skiddle.com or download the Skiddle app right now, and you'll see all the details there where you can get your tickets for the Ignition Rumble or for Merseyside Massacre or the combo tickets. You can see both shows on the same day, January the 25th. We've got one more match to talk about from the Ignition Rumble show, January the 25th, and that's this one here. MVK. He's been in beast mode. Let's be honest, gentlemen. He's been in beast mode since he picked up the Ignition Championship. But he's going to need to be in ultra beast mode when he takes on the one-man armory Bullet. who's going to be looking to dethrone and take that championship away from MVK in just a couple of Saturdays' time. But gentlemen, this is going to be a tremendous championship match between two formidable competitors. Both of them can easily be considered two of the best heavyweights in the UK. I mean, MVK's got some qualities that we don't usually see from guys of his size and his stature. But Bullet, he said time and time again, he's the best heavyweight, super heavyweight in all of Europe, and he's going to have to prove it on January the 25th. Mike?
Yeah, well, I've worked with some of the best super heavyweights on the planet. People like Shigehiro Irie, Big Damo, Bronson Reed, Will Cruz, and these two guys are both up in that level with them. The one-man armory Bullet, one of the best super heavyweights on the planet, and MVK, this guy a heavyweight, but he does so many things differently than you see heavyweights do, and he's got the absolute skills to pay the bills. And he's as you see, anyone who can take on Joseph Connors and still retain the championship against someone who's so technically sound, just shows how good this guy is. And in that matchup, just the power he displays is insane. But Joseph Connors, absolutely brilliant wrestler, technical masterclass there. But Bullet is a completely different story. When you're taking on the one-man armory, this guy is just meat on meat on meat, and he is very well trained, and he just knows how to use his weight to his advantage. So it's really going to be interesting how MVK deals with that, or if he can deal with it at the Ignition Rumble.
I think that's the question, is if he can deal with it. Bullet for me has always been a powerhouse. He's always been very physical, very brutal, very impactful. But he's recently gone through this transformation as well. He's changed his physicality. He's benching and lifting more than he's ever lifted in his entire life. He's on this new training regime, which makes him even more unpredictable, even more dangerous. Now, MVK, you would argue, pound for pound, is one of the best big men in the country right now, because you said it earlier, Jonas, he can do things that others can't do of his size. So this is just going to be, an immovable object versus an unstoppable force, isn't it? And I think that's worth the ticket price alone. I mean, Bullet is just an absolute, he's a tank. An MVK is a bullet train. So God knows which one gives, but man, can't wait to find out.
Absolutely. And Lewis has been in touch again. MVK versus Bullet is going to be an absolute banger. Absolutely. Right. And we've got Wrestle Snaps. I think MVK has met his match, probably his toughest opponent yet. Possibly so. And Wrestle Snaps again, who's looking forward to seeing Scott Oberman, his favourite to win the Ignition Rumble on Saturday the 25th. But so much to look forward to. Some great matches there, and of course the Ignition Rumble. But for anybody that hasn't been to a TNT Ignition show before, we've got a little bit of a highlights package from the last show back in November, which was TNT Ignition No Limit. A hell of a show. Here are some highlights just to give you a taster and another reason why you should be getting your tickets to the Ignition Rumble. Here we go. The Ignition Rumble, January the 25th, from the Fusion nightclub. Details are scrolling along the bottom of the screen. Go to skiddle.com or download the Skiddle app and get your tickets right now for the Ignition Rumble. And of course, at the show, you'll be presented with an opportunity to get some Ignition merch. The brand new Ignition Rumble t-shirt is out, or the Ignition t-shirt is out, and it will be exclusively available at the merch stand at the Ignition Rumble. But guys, so much to look forward to there. Another show to look forward to is going to be this one here. And we all look forward to the return of Superstar Pro Wrestling Slam Jam makes its return February the 2nd. And that's going to be from the Croc's Teeth Gems Community Association. So much to look forward to. Mike, I know that you've worked for Superstar Pro Wrestling before many times. I think you was a commentator with Stewie, a good friend of the show. But tell us a bit about Superstar Pro Wrestling, because it makes its return on February the 2nd.
Yeah, perfect. It's Croxteth Gems. It's going to be amazing. Obviously, the home of Claw Training School, and this is an ideal opportunity for young wrestlers who are coming through the scene, who have been training hard, honing their craft. This is a good opportunity for those guys to get onto a show and look at some of the amazing talent on that, who they might have the opportunity to work alongside or against. Gradwell, Sonna Durson, Harley Hudson, Lucy Sky, Dean Allmark, and of course, Superstar Pro Wrestling's biggest star, Barry Pewet, from the Ribble Valley himself, an absolute amazing competitor. He hasn't watched professional wrestling since 1995. A VHS cassette was the last thing he watched, but he has a good idea of what it's all about. And, the custard cream dream himself, if he's involved, it's going to be good. So, get yourselves down to Croxteth Gems on the 2nd of February. I'm sure I'll be there. Make sure to check it out. And Superstar has always been, something special. Great opportunity for upcoming talent in the Northwest area.
Absolutely. Let's move on, gentlemen. Let's talk about this here. TNT Extreme Wrestling presents Merseyside Massacre, January the 25th. Doors open at 6. And the VIP doors, open at 6 and general doors at 7. And of course, there will be an extreme VIP meet and greet with some of the biggest and best stars that will be on show during the Merseyside Massacre that evening, including LA Taylor, Sky Smithson, VA Rose, Robbie X, and Harley Hudson, of course. And speaking of Harley Hudson, we're going to talk about this match first. Judas Gray versus Harley Hudson. Gentlemen, we know that both of these two have got a rich history with TNT. We've spoken a lot about Judas Gray over the last year or so on previous Barbed Wires, Mike, because he's really starting to break out and make a bit of a name for himself in front of the TNT audience. But I don't quite know if he knows what he's letting himself in for when he takes on Hudzilla, Harley Hudson, on January the 25th, my friend.
Yeah, he's going to run into 9 stone of Scouse Girl power, and he could be in big trouble. A very innovative wrestler, Judas Gray, been really impressed with his work at TNT over the last year. But Harley Hudson is just on a different level. The TNA Good Check winner, who's destined to be heading to the States at some point soon. And she has worked so hard in the gym. She is in just peak condition and has just... I just think Judas is absolutely brilliant, but he could be overwhelmed by Hudzilla on the 25th. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
Simon.
Judas Gray is a phenomenal talent for me. I think he had a breakthrough year. That was his big breakout stardom year. He was up and down the country. And what you used the best word to describe him, Mike, innovative. Comes up with things that your brain couldn't even process, but Judas Gray makes it happen, and effectively. So, Harley Hudson's great. She's on the run of a lifetime at the moment. You're right. She's destined for big things pretty soon. But, does that allow a little bit of complacency? Do you think she's already got there and now coming up against someone like Judas Gray, new kid on the block, ready to show some people exactly who he is, and what a better way to do it than beat Harley Hudson?
Absolutely. And TNT Extreme Wrestling are watching us live at home on their Facebook.
What else?
I was going to ask for a translator, but thank you so much. You did it for me. And we got Joseph once again asking if they'd love to see TNT back in South Wales. And I think it's been a little while. I think that may have been Clash at the Castle weekend, August or September 2022. So we're 2.5 years removed from that. So I think a trip back to South Wales is long overdue. So I agree with Joseph there.
I think we need to go on tour, Mike. That's what we need to do.
Swansea needs to visit. The Tram Shed in Cardiff's a great venue. We've always enjoyed our shows down there. The Welsh fans have come out to come and see TNT in force. And I think that would be absolutely amazing. I know Si wants to do a tour. I'd be happy doing a TNT tour for sure. And I'd love to see TNT versus OTT at some point. I'm sure that was on the cards a few years back. But Simon, I think that'd be something pretty special.
Oh man, yeah. Look, I'm fortunate enough to be associated with OTT and TNT. To have them both do things together would be. I don't know if the scene could handle it just yet, but yeah, let's hope that's something that can come to fruition down the line. Definitely.
Now, gentlemen, we love having guests on the Barbed Wire show, and we've had many guests in the past over the last 4 episodes, this being number 5, and we've got another guest joining us very, very soon. But before we do, let's just play this little video to introduce our guest.
I'll tell you what though, Set to Stun, they made a great debut here. They were at the races, they look great.
Yeah, not a win, but a great debut nonetheless for Set to Stun.
They loved him, he's right. Oh no! Shay, no! Oh, what a vicious...
Shay Monet apparently not happy with the performance of Adam Bolt, which is...
It was Shay that got pinned.
Yes. Talk about sore loser, Mark. Oh, for Christ's sake, why do people keep talking tonight? And he's going to talk with that Scottish accent. I can't understand a fucking word he's saying.
Not even going to... He took the mic.
Scottish contingency here are giving me shit now as well. I'm glad Shay Monet didn't talk.
Shay is delighted with himself.
Gray had taken the same fucking advice.
There we go. And we look ahead, the Merseyside Massacre, and it will be Adam Bolt versus Shay Monet, and an opportunity for Adam Bolt to possibly get his revenge on Shay Monet. But I'm going to introduce our guest for the evening, none other than Shay Monet, joins us live on Barbed Wire. Shay Monet, thank you so much. You've been a previous guest on Barbed Wire. Lovely to have you back again. But first of all, we've seen the video there. I think we're all keen to know. I mean, you weren't keen to talk in the ring after that match and to explain your actions, but now would be a great opportunity for you to do so.
First of all, good evening, gentlemen. Michael Angus, I can see you're looking dapper as normal. Oh, we're even joined by Simone Hill. Hello, how are you? And lastly, Johnny Bird, thank you so much for bringing me on your podcast. I really do appreciate it. I don't really have much to say. I mean, Adam understands it, right? It's every man for themselves. It's always been like that. But Adam knows me deep down personally, and he knows there's no hard feelings. You know, my journey in TNT has been quite the path, shall we say, and this is a new beginning. Because my issue is, in TNT, everything that I love gets taken away from me. Visage broke my heart. I lost my TNT championship not once, but twice, because I failed to do what I came to do. So Adam, before you could hurt me, I hurt you. And I had to seek further guidance. There wasn't really anything on this earth, shall we say, to help me. So therefore, I had to search out of this world. And let's just say, the gods are with me.
Gentlemen, Mike, any questions for our guest? And looking ahead to his match against Adam Bolt on January the 25th, anything you'd like to ask Shay Monet?
Well, wishing Shay Monet a happy new year, obviously, but I honestly thought Set to Stun was going to be one of the biggest tag teams in TNT history. I was so excited by the the tag team there of Shay and Adam. So I was devastated when that happened personally. But Shay, you're going to have to face Adam, and I don't think you're right. I think Adam is going to be furious about that, and I think there's going to be hell to pay on the 25th, to be honest. So I hope you're ready for that.
That's cute. That's nice. I really appreciate your comments. In regards to what you say, Set to Stun is still one of the biggest teams. And do you want to know why it was the biggest teams? Because a star like Shea Monet formed it. But there's always that superior person in the team, and that's what happened to be me. So Adam can seek revenge all he wants, but Adam, you have no idea who you're walking into the ring with, because this is not the Shea Monet that you knew in November. Trust me.
Simon, any thoughts, any questions for our guest?
Shay, I've kind of followed your career and we've worked together quite a lot. To see this version of you is very conflicting to me because I've always seen how incredible of a talent you are, how passionate you are, how loved you are. You say that you went out of your way to hurt Adam before he hurt you, but what really possessed you to do that to your tag partner, knowing what Mike just said? Not only was that your friend, someone you respected, loved, but also potentially one of the biggest tag and best tag partners you've ever had in your career.
Well, Simon, if you followed my career, you would know my legacy with tag partners never ends well. I always get stabbed in the back, and I'm always the idiot to sit there and let it happen. But you can't get stabbed in the back if you have eyes in the back of your head, as well as your front. So my answer to that is everyone will still love me because I'm basically sacrificing all the unnecessary things they don't need in TNT, and I plan on getting rid of that one by one. Adam was just getting his career started in TNT, and unfortunately, it will be short-lived. He rode my coattails from the beginning, and it'll be finished by riding my coattails out the door.
Shay, let me ask you, obviously we're streaming live to the TNT YouTube channel and Facebook page and streaming live to TNT fans all over the world. And you were beloved by the TNT fans in Liverpool. You were beloved, but you seem to have kind of betrayed the fans as much as you've betrayed Adam Bolt. Do you have any words for the fans who might be disappointed by your actions the last time we saw you?
I'm sorry, I'm confused. Did you say betrayed the fans? The fans love me. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just basically giving them what they need in life. I'm basically the god of what these fans desire, okay? So, just like any other person in life, they have to seek further guidance to make a better self for themselves. And that's exactly what I did. So the people out there who knows that what it's like to be an outcast, what it's like to be left outside, they can understand where I'm coming from. The Shea Monet that they are so used to, the fun, bubbly, loving one, it was fun. But it comes a time where business gets serious. In 2025 in TNT, this is the year of the celestial Shea Monet.
There we go. I don't think we could have ended it any better. But Shea Monet, thank you so much for being a guest once again on this episode of Barbed Wire. And we look forward to seeing how your match unfolds between yourself and Adam Bolt on January the 25th at Merseyside Massacre. Shea Monet, thank you very much. Good evening to you.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
Anyone else
Celestial.
feel just really intimidated by that change of attitude?
Yeah.
So bizarre, right?
So bizarre. So I think, yeah. Any kind of thoughts on that now that we've just spoken to, let's say, former TNT world champion, of course, and he said that every partner he's ever had, has kind of stabbed him in the back, betrayed him. He feels wronged. But he felt so wrong that he had to attack Adam Bolt at the last show, and we're seeing a different side to Shea Monet for sure as we look ahead to this match. Any final thoughts, Mike, Simon?
I mean, it's yeah. Go on, Mike. Sorry,
go on. Simon.
Yeah, for me, it was that was I've never seen that side of Shea before, and I could see in his eyes, it was very, you felt it through the screen. We're watching through the screen, guys. You know what I mean? We're talking to Shea, we're safe, but you could just see the change. And I think that is a scary change. I feel for Adam, but I also know how resilient Adam is. So I really think all eyes are going to be on this match on the 25th.
Yeah, and similarly, I'm concerned about the change there in Shaymanay, and you're devastated about the tag team because I've seen how hard Adam works and what a great wrestler Adam could be. The man who makes it look good. I was excited to see Adam in TNT, and I thought that pairing of Shaymanay and Adam was going to be just an amazing tag team. But obviously, as they say, good friends make better enemies sometimes, and Adam Bolt is going to want revenge. And Shaymanay, now the Celestial, that's something, that's a statement there. So I'm intrigued to see what that means and what it's going to mean for TNT in the future. But I think, Shay said Adam Bolt's going to be going out on the coattails. I can't see Adam Bolt going anywhere. So I think Shaymanay could be in big, big trouble here with Adam Bolt in the very near future.
Charlie Crothers is watching us at home. Shaymanay, what a div. Shay, if you're watching, that's Charlie's words, not ours. Oh, dear me, Charlie.
Oh, you're going to get us all in trouble, Charlie.
He's always trying to get into trouble, isn't he? Yeah. But thank you, Charlie. Keep sending in your questions. Keep sending in your comments. Let's have a look as we continue to hype up Merseyside Massacre with this match here for the TNT Ultra X Championship. Mal Darice, the long reigning defending champion, takes on Robbie X. And Robbie X has got a long history in a TNT ring. But surprisingly, the Ultra X Championship is one championship that has eluded him. But when you look at that graphic again, Malo Darice and Robbie X, that is a dream match all day long. And I think that is going to put on a spectacle, a display that you are not going to be able to get anywhere in the country on January the 25th from the Fusion nightclub. Mike, kick us off with this one.
Yeah, Robbie X, absolute huge star all over the world at the moment, as he deserves to be, same as Darice. These two guys, two of the absolute best that the UK have produced. Amazing to see them all over the place, and it's great that they're going to be in this matchup against each other. As you said, John, is a real surprise that Robbie X has not held the Ultra X Championship. He's been involved in the inaugural Project X match, if I remember correctly. He's been involved in Innovation X matches that we've done at TNT in the past. So it's long overdue. And Robbie X comes in, fresh from Japan to take on man like Darice, who's the Ultra X champion, who's been away in America. This is going to be an absolute clash of the superstars here. And I, for one, cannot wait for that matchup. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. Full on entertainment. And, as you say, John, was about that match earlier. This is worth the price of admission on its own. And Si, let's hear about it.
Yeah, where do you start with this one? I mean, you're right. Robbie X was involved in that first ever Project X inaugural match of the Crown. Kid Lycos 2, Ace Austin. I'm not sure if LJ was the other one. I can't remember the fourth participant now. But yeah, Robbie X, blew people away, running up walls and all sorts. He is a man unto himself, and he's getting the flowers he deserves in Japan at the moment. Being a part of that Bullet Club setup. Darice, on the other hand, I watched and called Darice go against the TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth at the middle of 2024. And everyone questioned whether Darice could actually go at that level. Darice looked like he belonged with stars and came out of that bigger, better, stronger. And I think the level of respect rose by 100 because he looked like he should be there. So this match for me is just going to be insane. It's a great advertisement for not just two incredibly gifted cruiserweights and high flyers, but for TNT alone. This one is definitely worth a ticket price.
100%. And let's talk about this one here for the TNT Women's Tag Team Championships. Emerson Jane and Rio take on The Experience, making their TNT Extreme debut as The Experience, January the 25th from the Fusion nightclub. You've not just got two wonderful tag teams here, you've got four of the very best pro wrestlers on the UK circuit right now, ready to take TNT and the Merseyside Massacre by storm on January the 25th. And of course, the TNT Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line, Mike.
Yeah, and Rio and Emerson Jane have been absolutely brilliant women's tag team champions, but they've not had as many chances as we would have liked for them to defend the titles. And then this could be their very last defense, because they are taking on the Experience, which are two of the absolute best. This is just going to be insane, and this card is just so good. January 25th, you've just literally got to be there in Liverpool for this, because that match is going to be insane. Obviously, Rio, Emerson Jane, just been absolutely amazing in TNT, and then up step the Experience. Sky Smithson, brilliant on the last show on her birthday, and now she's bringing in LA Taylor, the Demolition Woman, with her as well, and this is going to be just very, very special.
All four of these women, John, as you took the words out of my mouth, they are four of the best in the country right now. All four of them, even aside from the TNT tag titles, have all held major titles in this country. They've all travelled and they're all smashing it. They're all doing what they do best. So this is just going to be explosive, man. I really, really can't wait to call this one. I think me and DJ are going to have a lot of fun on this night calling this card. And this is just the first show of the year. We've run through just the first two of the year so far, and it's unreal. Stacked.
Crazy. Yeah. Absolutely. And Wrestle Snaps watching us live at home, thank you so much. So happy to see LA Taylor in a TNT ring. I think we all are, and I think we're going to get full display of what LA Taylor is capable of alongside Sky Smithson, one half of the Experience. And could they possibly walk away with some gold after their debut pairing in a TNT ring? You never know. You never know. Let's see where we are, because so much more to talk about, and we're going to talk about this one here next. Talk about Merseyside Massacre. You're going to get it on January the 25th for the TNT World Extreme Division Championship, when Drew Parker and B.A. Rose clash. And this is going to be extreme. That all the toys and everything is going to be pulled out from underneath that ring. They might even bring a few toys to the ring with them. Knowing these two, knowing the history. And we've had Drew Parker on here, Mike, haven't we? And he said that he wants to elevate extreme wrestling, deathmatch wrestling in the UK. He's done it all over the world. He feels that there's more to be done on the UK scene. But B.A. Rose is one of those that he believes. He's got his own, philosophy on deathmatch wrestling, and he wants to elevate it in his own way. But these two are going to clash. And it's going to be a tremendous clash. And if you like your extreme wrestling, if you like your deathmatch wrestling, you're not going to get much better than Drew Parker versus B.A. Rose. Mike.
Yeah, this is going to be extreme. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be violent. And Drew Parker is up there as one of the absolute best on the planet. But B.A. Rose was the winner of Thrill Kill this year, and deservedly so. If I remember correctly, Emerson Jane was involved slightly, which might have hindered Drew Parker in that matchup. But this is a chance for redemption for him in this one. And the belt is on the line. So this is going to be massive. It's, all the marbles are on the table here, and it's going to be, and the marbles might be spilt all over the ring with people getting powerbombed with blood all over them, and thumbtacks and, barbed wire. This is barbed wire, but you might see barbed wire that night, and it is going to be extreme. It's going to be violent. If you like your deathmatch wrestling, if you're a fan of that, this is going to be absolutely brutal, and this is going to be one for the history books. And Simon, I know you can be a bit squeamish on occasions, but I think you've got this one.
Same.
Yeah, I think I might have to leave this one to DJ. But yeah, look, this is going to be bloody. It is going to be brutal. You got two behemoths of the deathmatch scene, clashing for the ultimate prize. I'd like to say I wish I didn't, but I have a soft spot for Drew Parker after he said some very kind words to me last year. But, this one has so much riding on it for both men. Whoever doesn't manage to come on top on this one, you have to ask yourself, what's next? And they'll be asking themselves that as well. But, before all that comes the blood, gore, and the violence. Like you said, there's going to be barbed wire. Drew's renowned to make up some random appliance in the kitchen and bring it to a show. So no doubt we're going to see some interesting takes on weapons during that one as well.
So, some random appliance and probably the kitchen sink as well, Simon.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
And all the knives and all the cutlery and everything else. But that's going to be a tremendous match. And like I say, if you are a little bit squeamish, like myself and Simon, you might want to look away, because that one's going to be extreme. But what about this one here for your TNT World Championship? Tate Mayfair's versus Jay Joshua. Now, we've seen a lot of Jay Joshua in a TNT and an Ignition ring in 2024, but now he gets a shot at the big championship, at the greatness, at Tateness. Tate Mayfairs, who has been he's taken the championship all over the world, gentlemen. He has been a traveling champion, he's been a fighting champion, and like I say, a lot of people, they have their opinions on Tate, but I think one thing is for sure, he's been a fantastic TNT world champion. But he's going to have his hands full. He's going to have his hands full in the shape of Jay Joshua, and dare we say it, possibly Tate's hardest challenge to date. Mike, we said it earlier about MVK and Bullets. You know, what a fantastic match to kind of round off that show for their championship and for the TNT World Championship. Tate Mayfairs versus Jay Joshua. It doesn't get much better.
Yeah, Jay Joshua has just been on a level like this, and this is his biggest opportunity to date. He's just been getting better and better every time he steps foot in the ring. His confidence is growing. His ability has grown to a level now where he's absolutely up there with the best of them, and such an entertaining character, and just very innovative as well with his moves and different move sets that I've not seen before from people. And but this is, as you say, it's going to be his toughest challenge as well, because Tate Mayfairs, as much as we all hate him, has been absolutely amazing. In 2024, he held the TNT World Championship for the whole year. I saw him in Philadelphia with the belt. I've seen him obviously all over the country, down in London, especially working down there. And this guy is somebody who's in the gym every single day. He's living the life of a superstar, and he is carrying that belt, with honor and pride. And although he is a scumbag and can be a disgusting human being on occasion, he has done absolutely amazingly last year. And it's going to be, Tateness is greatness. We can't avoid that anymore. It's, if you do type into Google, there is actually going to be a picture of Tate Mayfairs with the TNT World Championship on there very soon, if it's not already.
He came up like that. Again,
there you go. You say it and it happens, and he's been absolutely amazing. So I think that is going to be just an absolutely epic clash. We know Jay Joshua has got what it takes to win that championship, but we also know Tate Mayfairs will do absolutely anything to keep that gold around his waist. So that is going to be an amazing match, and it could very well be a Merseyside massacre by the end of the night.
Simon.
Yeah, I agree. Look, 482 days and counting. Tate's on the run of a lifetime, and I don't see it slowing anytime soon. And you're right. Mike said he's been defending this title in America, Uganda. He's been throughout Europe, London, up and down the country, defending this belt and making it the more relevant it's ever been, I think, in my opinion. And I don't want to feed his ego anymore, but he's been a defending champion. However, on the flip side, I think, Mike, you summed it up. Jay Joshua is very unpredictable. He's dynamic. He's a very different opponent for Tate. And I think you said it, John, as he's going to be his toughest test to date. Not because of star power, but because Jay Joshua's a fighter. And Tate hasn't really been up against too many scrappy fighters that just want to run through you to get what they need to get. And Jay Joshua is an absolute brawler.
Absolutely. He's been a tremendous champion, but that is a stacked lineup. That is a stacked Merseyside massacre, gentlemen. So much to look forward to. Let's just whiz through some of the matches. And, we spoke about it. Judas Gray versus Harley Hudson. We had Shay Monet live on Barbed Wire talking about his match against Adam Bolt and why he felt that Adam Bolt wronged him. Malo DeReese versus Robbie X for the Ultra X Championship is going to be a world-class match indeed. And of course, you get Emerson Jane and Rio versus the Experience for the TNT Women's Tag Team Championship. And for the Extreme Division Championship, Drew Parker and B.A. Rose. And of course, Tate Mayfairs defends his championship, his world championship against Jay Joshua. But as we did earlier, for anybody watching live at home, and once again, thank you very much. We've still got time to send me your questions, send me your comments, and we've got a few that I will bring up on screen before we go. But if you're not too familiar with what TNT, the extreme side of TNT is all about, here's a little bit of a glimpse that will give you more of an insight and more of a reason to get your tickets for Merseyside Massacre. that was just a glimpse of what the TNT Extreme brand has to offer from their last show, Cold Day in Hell. Some tremendous action, but of course you want to be there, you want to be a part of it. TNT Extreme Wrestling presents Merseyside Massacre, January the 25th, and you want to be there. We've spoken about a handful of tremendous matches featuring some of the best talent from all over the world. And of course, that tremendous main event between Tate Mayfairs and Jay Joshua. And of course, at the merch stand, you'll be able to get your TNT Extreme t-shirt at Merseyside Massacre. Go and search that out at the TNT Extreme TNT merch stand when you're there from the Fusion nightclub. But gentlemen, we're looking forward to some incredible action, not just in 2025, but on January the 25th. And you have to be there. For anybody watching live at home or kind of listening back to this on demand, go over to the Skiddle app now or skiddle.com. But I'm going to leave it to the two of you to kind of sign us off and tell us why we should be going to the Ignition Rumble and Merseyside Massacre in just a couple of weeks' time, because two loaded cards, gentlemen. And you can be there, you can witness it all from the Fusion nightclub. But Mike, tell our fans at home why they should be there to see those two shows go down, and of course your shiny shoes.
Yeah, the shiny shoes will be out in force that day. Make sure to head to Triller, obviously, and check out those last shows. Make sure you can see what happened there, so you're up to date with what's going to be coming up at the show on the 25th. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You've got the family-friendly Ignition Rumble in the daytime. That's just going to be an absolutely epic show. That main event between Bullet and MVK is going to be something so special. Make sure you're there. And obviously, whoever wins that Rumble is going to be gunning for one of these guys, I would assume, afterwards as well. And there's going to be however many people are going to be involved in that. We know 5 of them already. There's going to be many more, and it's going to be chaotic, to say the least. There's going to be people getting thrown over the top rope. I'm probably going to with someone flying onto me. I doubt anyone's going to land on you on the balcony, Simon, but it could happen. Right. We did have... Yoshiko did end up there during one of the shows previously, so you just never know what might happen. But that's going to be absolutely amazing. And then Merseyside Massacre, which is the actual 10th anniversary of TNT Wrestling, on that very evening. The Merseyside Massacre, the very first show we ever did was back in 2015. So it's going into our 11th year this year, the 10th anniversary, Merseyside Massacre. And there's just an absolute cavalcade of superstars on that one. It's just some of the best on the planet are going to be in Liverpool on that night. And it's just going to be so entertaining. And I'm going to be there ringing out in my shiny shoes. And Simon is going to be on commentary. So make sure to come and check it out. Come and say hi to us. Come and get your photographs, your Mad Dog selfie, and come and see Simon back at TNT. And Si, I'll let you sign off. Last thing for me is just to say a huge thank you to Jonas, as always, and to all the wonderful TNT fans for tuning in. Active Skulls, Rama Clobber, get involved. And Simon, take it away.
Thanks, Mike. How do I follow that? You know, that was like the Penta Chad match last night. That was. I don't know how to follow it, but, you know, I'll do my best to be Sheamus in this one. So, look, TNT's on this whole progression right now. 2025 is the big year. TNT have got some huge plans, not just during the whole of 2025, but Mike just said it. We're celebrating our 10th year of Merseyside Massacre, 10 years of TNT. We don't just stop at what you see on the adverts. We show you exactly what we've got in person. When you're there in attendance, you get the full experience and more. So we have all those incredible matches. I mean, spoke about so many amazing moments. MVK and Bullet is worth the admission price. We spoke about Doris and Robbie X, two of the very, very best this country has produced, and they're only on the rise right now. That match is going to be stacked. It's blink and don't miss it, and you'll see the highlights, but you need to be there to experience it. And then you've got LA Taylor and Sky Smithson. You know, this tag team coming to a TNT ring to face off against Emerson, Jane, and Rio. A dream match for many. 4 of the very best all go head to head. So make sure you grab your tickets. Ignition is that family-friendly show. Again, Mike is going to be wearing silly shoes. I'm going to be wearing a very suitable suit. But it is going to be an incredible show. Again, only 5 people have been announced for that Rumble so far. More announcements come, but don't forget, Rumbles are about surprises. We don't just drop everything on a graphic and, you know, look forward to you coming down. We want to give you some surprises to enjoy as well. TNT is on the ascendancy, so come and join us. Come and have some fun. Come and party. Come and witness the chaos, the havoc, and everything that goes with it. And if you're not watching live on Triller, you need to be there.
There we go. And stay tuned to TNT socials for more matches, more updates, more entrants into the Ignition Rumble. Head over to skiddle.com or download the Skiddle app to get your tickets for both of them two shows now, January the 25th, the Ignition Rumble and Merseyside Massacre. But from myself, Johners, and from the Mad Dog and from Simon Hill, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit a share, a like, a subscribe, and a follow. And we'll catch you all next time, guys. Thank you very much.